New this morning, for decades, an Iowa State scientist has been studying turtles to help learn more about humans.
Yeah, Larissa Mills from our sister station in Des Moines explains how the professor's team has developed a faster way to study the species and potentially discover life-saving practices for people.
Dr. Nicole Valenzuela has dedicated her life to researching turtles after learning about the species' temperature-dependent sex determination trait. In turtles, the temperature of the developing eggs is what determines whether the offspring will be male or female.
As I was studying sex determination, we got to the point that we wanted to test the function of genes, but we couldn't do that in turtles the way that is easy to do with, say, fruit flies or even mice.
A few years ago, she heard about colleagues who were growing something called organoids to study dog intestines.
So organoids are simplified versions of an organ that you can grow in a petri dish so that you can do experiments without the need of live animals.
Valenzuela wondered if the same could be done with turtles, whose slow growth make them difficult to study.
We tried it and it worked.
Now her team will be studying lab-grown turtle liver organoids. The liver is the organ that allows painted turtle hatchlings to survive freezing and a lack of oxygen for weeks to months at a time.
So by developing liver organoids, if we understand how turtles manage to do that, to survive freezing, to survive lack of oxygen, then we can inform to develop therapies for humans who suffer stroke or heart attack.
Beyond the biomedicine impact this research could have on humans, it also aids in conservation efforts.
Developing organoids that bypass the need of using live animals for experimentation means that it opens the door to study endangered species that you couldn't investigate otherwise because you cannot do experiments with live animals.
Valenzuela and her team are the first in the world to develop turtle organoids.
We can pass on, disseminate the knowledge so that others can do the same. Then that will only be good for research.
Well, phase 1 was the development of the organoids, and Valenzuela says phase 2 will now be using those organoids to do a hypothesis testing to test the function of turtle genes.
There you are. It's 11.